Okay, so now we're going to learn some of the basic techniques, and there's really two sounds that we can talk about that are basic, and beyond that it's variations and extensions and ornamentation. So the basic two sounds of the cajon are the bass and the slap, or low and high. You can call them low and high. I'm going to refer to them as bass and slap, and that's the way I think about them. There's probably other people that have other names for that. So just keep an open mind when you're out there searching for other resources. You have to remember that music is a living art form, and it's folkloric, and there's different sources, different teachers, different cultures, different words. So I'm going to say bass and slap. So the bass, very simple. You're going to take your hand and just have a relaxed hand and place it so it's just inside the area of the head, and you're going to strike the drum with a relaxed flat hand. It needs to be a little, it needs to have a little tension so it can be flat, but you don't want it just flopping around, but you don't want it rigid either. And you don't have to strain your hand and focus only on your palm. This is a mistake a lot of people make. Maybe you've heard a teacher say that you strike it with your palm, but really you strike it with your whole hand, and your palm might be the focus of that energy that you're putting into the head, but you're striking it with your entire hand. So you could feel the head like this and make sure that your hand's comfortable. You're not slumping, you're not leaning too far over, and you're in a comfortable playing position. And you're going to strike the drum and just let your hand bounce off. So it's very simple, just like that. And so this is bass. So let's practice that with both hands alternating. And I'm going to play this to a metronome, and we're going to be using the metronome throughout this video. And I think you should use one too whenever you practice. We all need to develop a good sense of rhythm, a good sense of time. Every musician does, but especially us percussionists and drummers. All right, so here's 80 beats a minute, and we're just going to alternate. You can do this with me, or you can do it later. 1, 2, 3, 4. Relax. Now, some players will play the bass tone up here with part of their hand on the drum, and you can play a bass tone there. And here's what that sounds like. So that's acceptable. It may not be as bassy. You can hear on this drum I get more of the snare sound as opposed to reaching a little more into the head. So maybe that's a little in a gray area between the bass and the slap. It's a little bit of a snary bass tone. Okay, so that's the bass. You can play around with that. I recommend playing with the metronome, practicing, and just having fun. So let's noodle around. Let's play a bunch of bass tones in any kind of rhythms that we want. And so I'll give you an example, and then you can have fun with that later. Okay, so the point of that is to help you balance your sound, to make your weak hand stronger, and balance your strong hand with your weaker hand so that you can have a consistent sound. So when you're practicing, just try to go for consistency and go for a full, rich bass tone. All right, let's move on and learn the slap.